The moment Aruna Vale collapsed on the cold marble floor of her own headquarters, the world she had ruled with certainty and steel finally went silent. Glass walls reflected a woman in white who no longer looked like a CEO but like a stranger stripped of power, breath-hitching, heartbreaking in public daylight. Just hours earlier, she had owned this building, this company, this future. Now she sat shaking under the bright afternoon sun pouring through the atrium, realizing that everything she believed about success, loyalty, and herself had been a lie. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of humanity, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindora Life. Stories like this only matter when they are felt together. Aruna had built her empire by the age of 38, rising from a scholarship student to the youngest female CEO in her industry. Her days were filled with boardrooms, forecasts, and applause that sounded sincere but felt hollow. She trusted numbers more than people, results more than relationships. In the bright hours of every workday, she wore control like armor. She believed failure was for the weak and compassion was a distraction. That belief shattered in one devastating week when a silent internal coup exposed financial manipulations she never authorized, contracts signed behind her back, and a board eager for a scapegoat. By Friday afternoon, her name was erased from the company she had given her life to. News spread fast, faster than truth ever could. Cameras waited outside as she walked out carrying nothing but a box of personal items. The city buzzed with speculation while she disappeared into anonymity. Her penthouse was frozen by legal battles. Her accounts locked. Her friends suddenly unavailable. Daylight became something harsh and revealing rather than hopeful. For the first time in her life, Aruna had nowhere to go and no one to call. She returned to the office building days later to retrieve documents, only to find her access denied. The same lobby that once parted respectfully for her now treated her like a ghost. Her strength failed her there, in full view of strangers passing by, their footsteps echoing with indifference. Panic tightened her chest. Tears came without permission. The fall was not just professional, it was deeply personal. That was when Matteo Cruz noticed her. Matteo was a single father who worked the daytime janitorial shift, pushing his cart through offices that never learned his name. He knew the rhythms of the building better than anyone, the way sunlight hit the floors by noon, the hum of exhaustion by late afternoon. He had lost his wife years ago and raised his daughter, Isela, on patience and quiet dignity. His life was small but honest, measured not by promotions but by school lunches packed and bedtime stories told. Seeing Aruna crumpled on the floor, he did not see a fallen executive. He saw a human being in pain. He knelt beside her with steady hands, offering water, grounding her with presence rather than words. In that moment, hierarchy dissolved. There was only daylight, vulnerability, and an unexpected kindness. Over the next weeks, Aruna drifted through the city, downsizing her life to rented rooms and borrowed time. Matteo became an unlikely constant. He checked on her during his breaks, shared coffee in sunlit parks, and spoke about loss without bitterness. He never asked who she used to be. He only treated her as who she was becoming. Slowly, Aruna began to breathe again. One afternoon, as sunlight filtered through library windows where she had gone to escape her thoughts, Matteo revealed the truth that would shatter her world in a different way. Years ago, before her rise, when she was a struggling junior analyst, she had unknowingly signed off on a restructuring plan that eliminated an entire department. Among those laid off was Matteo's wife, a brilliant but overlooked accountant whose sudden unemployment led to the chain of events that destroyed their stability. Matteo had never blamed Aruna by name. He blamed a system that never saw people, only margins. The weight of that truth crushed her. Her success had been built on invisible casualties. The pain she was living now was a reflection of pain she had once caused without ever noticing. The revelation did not come with anger. It came with calm acceptance, which hurt far more. Aruna understood then that losing everything was not punishment but awakening. Instead of retreating, she chose to face what she had been blind to. She sold what little she could, used her remaining knowledge to help displaced workers navigate legal claims, and volunteered during daylight hours at community centers Matteo introduced her to. She learned the value of listening, of humility, of rebuilding slowly. Her days were no longer measured by stock prices but by small victories, like helping a mother find work or watching Isela laugh under the open sky. Months passed. The legal storm cleared. Evidence surfaced. Aruna's name was cleared publicly, but the old throne no longer called to her. Investors reached out. Offers returned. She declined most of them. Instead, she founded a cooperative firm built on transparency and employee ownership, hiring those who had once been discarded, including Mateo's wife's former colleagues. Mateo joined not as a janitor, but as operations lead, respected and heard. As the sun rose one morning over a modest office filled with light and quiet purpose, Aruna realized she had finally gained something she never had before. Peace. She had lost everything that once defined her and found something far more powerful in return. Humanity. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can change destinies and truth can rebuild souls, please engage with this video. Your likes, comments, and shares help stories like this reach the people who need them most. Before the ending, we have a special request for you. Please comment one word that describes how this story made you feel. Your voice matters here. Aruna stood by the window, daylight warming her face, watching Mateo walk his daughter to school across the street. The world had not become perfect, but it had become real. And for the first time, that was enough.